Peace and love, family. This video is going to be about peace and happiness, actually. Uh, this is not scripted. None of my videos are scripted, actually. I might make a few notes about certain topics and stuff like that, but basically, I try to just do it from the top of my dome, just let it flow. And today I wanted to speak about peace and happiness. And however, this is from my perspective. So, maybe it'll help someone else. It works for me. And let's see how it goes. It's not going to be a long video. Please hit the like button, the share button, or subscribe. Or if not, well, thanks for watching anyways. Okay. Now, people, when it comes to peace and happiness, it's something that a lot of people think that is something that you have to depend on others to achieve. And in actuality, that's not how peace and happiness works. You know, peace and happiness is something that you have to achieve for yourself. It's something that you have to work on inwards from the inside out. And therefore, once you achieve that from the inside, then your relationship and everything else outwards will be a lot better when it comes to having peace and having true happiness, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be a co-worker situation, whether it be just friendships, whether it be organization groups, church or different organizations, across the world. And the 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 thing about peace and happiness is that before I get to that, there was a time long years ago I was in this relationship, right? And it seemed to be like I was always agitated and always angry and always like frustrated. And a lot of times it's not even the other person. It's just my views, my own personal views on what is going on and how I interpret it and how I respond and react to what goes on around you in your environment. And yes, your environment can affect your peace and your happiness. However, it's your perspective and how you respond to it. You could change that internally. And always remember, you cannot change another person. You can always change yourself. You have no control of what others do or say and act and how they feel about you. However, you have the opportunity, and you have the you have it within you. You have that opportunity within you to change how you feel, to look at it from different perspectives, and how you respond to whatever that comes your way. Now, when it comes to peace and happiness, it's it's like a diet, right? And when I say diet, it's not, in this case, I'm not speaking about food. And yes, food does affect your peace and your happiness. What you put in is what you put out. What you put in your body is what you get out of it. Okay. So food also plays a role, but I'm not speaking about food in this sense when I speak about diet. Your diet for peace and happiness can come from, or comes from the type of music you listen to, right? If you listen to a lot of music that is very aggressive and very negative and low vibration, then your peace and your happiness will be affected in that manner. So the music is one of them. The friends group, or the group that you associate yourself with on a day-to-day basis or hang out with, could be family members, could be friends, could be co-workers, could be anyone. It affects your peace and happiness. So what you do is that you try to keep that to a minimum. And if there's situations where you are where it's out of your control, except for example, your environment, say you're at work and everyone at work is agitated and angry and this and that, your own personal peace and happiness does not have to be affected by that, based on your response and how you look at it. How do you perceive how do you want to feel? If you don't want to be a part of that, you don't have to be a part of it. And this is what a lot of us don't really realize. And we depend on others to to give us happiness and give us peace. And we become dependable on that. And when they don't, then it affects us drastically in terms of how we feel at peace with ourselves and with others, and also how our happiness is altered in a negative or positive way depending on others, when in actuality your happiness and peace should depend on you. You are the person who's responsible for your own peace and your own happiness, and therefore you should take proper measures in terms of it changes in your mind. It takes place first in your mind. And once you change your perception and your attitude towards whatever that's trying to affect you, especially in a negative way, then you're able to respond to it better, because you now have a better understanding that peace and happiness actually starts with me. So let's get back to the relationship. So I was agitated and angry, and and I was in a relationship with someone. This is years ago. And one day I was complaining because I used to complain, and we all been through that. That's when I was in my, some people would say karmic period in life. Before I became spiritual enlightened, before I start to understand energies and inward peace and happiness. So I was complaining to an aunt of mine, right? And I was talking a lot of stuff, and I was like, that, but she does this and that, and why she just can't, and I'm not happy because she's not doing this and she's not doing that, and she's da 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 and the third. And one day my aunt looked at me and said, "Look, you can't." Well, she said a couple things, but it all plays. She said, "You can't make somebody love you, and you can't make somebody make you happy and at peace. Someone else can't do that for you. It's something you need to do for yourself." And believe me, that shut me up. After she said that, it shut me up, because I was looking at it from outwards in. I was depending on someone else to make my life happy. And a lot of cases, it's not even the other person. It's because I within myself wasn't focusing on my own happiness and my own peace. And this is not being selfish. It is, you have to first, if you're not happy with yourself, it doesn't matter, or at peace with yourself, it doesn't matter in what relationship you're in, you will not be happy and at peace. And vice versa for the spouse or whoever you're with, or your co-workers or friends or family members. If they're not happy with themselves, they cannot portray, there's nothing you can do to make them feel happy or feel at peace, because it's an inward thing. And a lot of times we have to look inward and work on how we feel internally. And once we can get that under control and at a balanced state, then we can, then people will just look at you and say, "Well, wow, you seem to be, you just chill, right? Why you just so chill? The whole job might be in chaos, and you just chill. Not that you chill, not re, doing anything to make things better, right? But you're not as affected as others may have been. You're not stressed out so much. You're not, running around going acting crazy and doing crazy things, because your emotions is all over the place. And excuse me. And people will, after working on yourself, and it's an ongoing process, it's not something that, even for myself, when I do speak to others, I'm also speaking about myself. So this is the thing with my videos. I'm not here to say, "Oh, I'm totally healed," or "I'm totally the top whatever." No, I'm not on top of everything, but I'm striving, I'm making progress. And this is why I do videos like this, because all of us help each other. Each one helps the other person. And this is how I view life and perceive life to be. It might not always be that case. Sometimes people just are selfish for a negative reason. They're selfish because they just want, and this is that, and everything must be their way and all that stuff. That is different. When I'm talking about selfishness, I'm talking on peace and happiness. It is a selfish thing to be peaceful within. It is a selfish thing to be happy within. Why is it selfish? Because you're at that point in time, you're not allowing anyone else to affect, how do you feel? And like I'm saying, it's a work in progress. So sometimes people do. And don't be too mad about yourself for that. After reflecting, okay, that's one hurdle. That's a trigger. There are triggers that affects us. There are triggers that, we all have triggers. No matter how perfect we are not perfect. Nobody is. And therefore, this is why these videos is geared towards helping each person to develop, including myself. Okay. So as I learn, I teach. As I develop, I help others to develop. And this is my goal and my passion. This is what I like to do naturally. So you might be on the job, for example, and everything is going, everybody's agitated and have their own personal issues and home issues. This husband might be upset with his wife and now he's at work, for example, and now he's at work and they angry because home is, that's they hungry because of what's going on at home, and because their home is all everything is going haywire. They come to work and they're in an angry mood, and a lot of times they don't understand that their own peace. They don't understand that their own peace comes from within, and so you that is on this journey of peace and happiness, allow their issues to affect you. It's not that you don't care about the person or whatever, but sometimes they would want to vent to you and talk, and they'll project and they'll do different things out of anger or frustration, or they just in a bad mood, and which is okay. Sometimes you're not going to always be in a good mood, and that goes for everyone. And sometimes you just so happen to be in an environment like the workplace or at school, if you're in school, and home situations. And what we could do to change this is first work on your own inner peace, right? Work on how you feel on the inside. Try to be more happy. What you listen to in terms of music, what you watch on the TV. It could be the food you eat. Could be how you interpret others. And your mindset. How do you think and process whatever that's in your environment or whatever that comes your way, right? My One of my key thing is to try to think about positive things most of the time. Sometimes things might come your way that throw you off, and whatever, that is fine. But in most instances, try to think on positive things, listen to positive music, relaxing music at times. Um, Watch movies and stuff that is not only about, not saying that you shouldn't, but not only about fighting and war and all that stuff that brings that negative vibration in your thoughts and your mind, and it affect your how do you feel and your emotions and stuff like that. So let's get back to the workplace. So you're at work, and for example, and the environment is like that sometimes. In some environments, workplace environments are very cool and chill, and so you don't have that issue. But I'm just speaking about even in school, right? You have to bear in mind that everyone has their issues and things that they're going through, but it doesn't have to be the way in a way that it affects you personally. And when you're being selfish with your feelings, is how in a positive way, is that you're it's not that you don't care about the next person. What you could do is give some form of advice, help that person to understand that, well, I know you're going through certain things or whatever, and I understand what you're saying, and that person may even be wrong that you're talking about. If they're talking about someone else, that person may have been wrong, but how you making it affect you is not healthy. It's not bringing peace. And sometimes we all have to look at things from different perspective and understand that not everyone is in that vibration. Not everyone wants peace. That's another thing. Not everyone wants to see others happy. And therefore, if you identify that, and if it's a case where they plain out don't want to see you happy and peaceful, then you just try to eliminate that person from your personal space or your personal life if you have to, and this is only if you're seeking peace and true happiness. And again, like I said, it is always something that's inward. It's things that sometimes we have to sit, we pray, we have to meditate. The music we listen to, the food we eat, the company we keep also plays a role. And the TV, the movies that we watch plays a role. It's a diet. It's a whole diet when it comes to peace and happiness, and also spirituality and enlightenment. It's a whole diet. And like I said, if you stumble and fall, and if certain things get you out of your character, well, hopefully not in a crazy, crazy way, but if it does, right, or out of your mood or your emotions, it's up to you now in order to heal and move on and find that peace and happiness is to balance it within yourselves. Thinking, okay, this is a trigger. Okay, excuse me. This is a trigger, right? And how it made me feel, why it made me feel the way I feel, and how can I, if you can't fix it or change it to in a positive way, it you can always fix and change your perception of what is happening or what happened or that person, places, or thing, right? So peace and happiness, guys, is not something that someone else gives to you. It's not something that you look in someone else. It's something that you have to find for yourself. And if you're not happy and peaceful within yourself, it doesn't matter what relationship you get into, no matter what form of relationship or group friendship relationships, personal relationship, family, friends, school, organization, whatever you're part of, church, whatever. For example, it will not you will not find peace there. You'll find peace within you. You are the person. Go to places that is peaceful. Go out in nature, so to speak. Go by the water, go by the beach, go by the river if you have a river. Do hiking, climb the mountain. Nature is a peaceful place. Listen to the birds chirp. Listen to, go to a farm where there are a lot of animals and play with the animals, I grew up on a farm part of my life, and I have a huge connection with multiple different animals. We have all sort of animals there, and also fruit trees and plants and all that stuff. And it even though a lot of things that was going on in that point in time in my life, I was able to find peace within nature also. And it's a growing process. It's an ongoing process also. So we have to continue to develop our character, or our own character and persona, and our views and perception of what peace and happiness really is. We have to develop it. We have to change our mindset in a more positive manner, think positive things. People is gonna piss you off. People is gonna say this and do that and whatever. And sometimes something happen, that unexpected, and it throw you off. But in actuality, no, you just allow yourself to find that balance again, get back on track, and you'll find yourself in a more peaceful and happy state. Okay. So, like I said, this video is not going to be very long, but work with that. Pray, meditate, whatever you do. Also, when you close your eyes, you're shutting out, especially meditation and prayers and stuff like that. You're shutting out your external environment. You're now focusing. That's why it's so powerful, because you're now focusing within. You're not, you close your eyes, that means you're seeing nothing around you, right? and you're focusing on your inward thoughts and feelings, even during meditation, which I'll that's another topic I'll do. Focus on your inner peace, your inner thoughts. Even if you even think about issues and problems too. I wouldn't say don't think about them. Think about what's affecting you. How can you fix it? How can you make it better if you can fix it, or how can you avoid it if it's something that you need to avoid in order for your own peace and happiness to reign in your life. Okay, like I said, this is a short video. Thank you all for watching. Um, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If not, thanks again. All right. Find that peace and find that happiness within you. It starts with you. Everything starts with you. Okay. All right. Peace.